Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of Ghost of Tsushima. We are going to be heading south here with Jin. Let's see, we've already been here, I believe. Yeah, that's the Komatsu Forge where nobody lives and nothing is happening. We could also head over here, the Destroy Shipyard. Do we want to do that? Kind of, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe we should do that before we go south. Let's at least check it out. Can I fast travel here? I can. Yes, Confused Hypnos is first in line. So, first of all, I'm a little bit concerned that this is going to be a lower energy stream, not because I'm not thoroughly enjoying this game, but because I feel like over the last 2 or 3 days, I've maybe had a cumulative total of 8 hours of sleep, and earlier today, this is just sort of like a little bit of background story. I swore to myself earlier in the month, like, we've had a whole bunch of really good days this month, like just on the stream, but also generally speaking. You know what? Let's get reacquainted with the combat here. Hold on just a second. Oh, it's not the way to do it. Okay. That's not good. Okay. Okay, this guy's gonna do some unblockable stuff. What the hell? Did I don't know where everybody went. Guess they decided they were done for now. Crap. Okay, so Archer has got to go. Come on. There we go. Let me just be sure. Okay, I'm just going to check for arrows and a couple other things. Hypnos is saying, guess who's up at 6 a.m. again because they've got assignments. Oh, that's draining. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope your assignments go well. Patikin is here. Patikin, I hope that you're having a good Saturday. Patikin and I and More Than Amiya got to play some Gang Beasts earlier today, and that was a lot of fun. That leads me into just sort of the brief anecdote I was angling towards a short time ago, before that fight. Earlier today, it was a wonderful day. It was cool, it was dry, it was extremely comfortable. I got a chance to do a long walk earlier today. It was a nice day at work. I mean, everything went really well. And I want to take a moment to underscore that, because what happened is, while we were playing Gang Beasts, one of the neighbors had some landscaping going on outside, just like lawn mowing and leaf blowing and so forth, and it filled our entire house with gasoline fumes, and I have felt pretty rotten ever since then. So that is why this may wind up being a lower energy stream. This game is a lot of fun, though, and oftentimes I've found that even if I'm, even if I had a rough day or whatever, that streaming can sort of take my mind off of it, and hopefully spending some time with you guys will make it a good time. Well, I'm going to stand off then. I will read some more in chat in just a moment. Wait, there's a bonus for killing staggered enemies. I don't think I've ever seen a checklist like that. Boy, have I not been paying attention for some of these other zones? Whoops. Stop it. No, I don't want to standoff. I just, so standoffs are really, really good for refilling your resolve meter, which is exactly why I wanted to do it there. Now we're going into this situation relatively well equipped with smoke bombs. Actually, on that note, okay, let me, well, actually, if our goal is to kill staggered enemies, I want to use the kunai. Confused Hypnos is saying, honestly, I prefer a low-key stream because I'm working and also have you on in the background. Well, that's cool. Hopefully we'll be good company for your work, much as you are good company for our stream. Patikin's also saying that he basically may mess with our fun game system. Hello to Ricardinho. So Chivalry's asking about armor. Well, I'm hesitant to change into my armor when I feel like I have an opportunity to avoid direct conflict, because if I remember correctly, in our gear, let's actually double check this because it's a good point. Not view upgrades, I'm sorry. Go to charms. Yeah, so in our bright, gleaming white outfit here, we've reduced enemy detection speed by 10%. So it's real good for sneaking around. That said, if we get the opportunity, if we wind up engaging in open combat, which I'm sure will come at some point, I will take an opportunity to put on the armor. All right, so we've got a guy patrolling there. Guy patrolling there. We are white on white rocks, so that's why they can't see me up here. We're too far away to hear people because I haven't taken the listening upgrade yet. Okay, so that's 2 of 3 staggered enemies. Let's see if we can make it 3 of 3. You think they saw where I went? What on earth is he? Wait, what? Yeah, I kind of feel like he shouldn't be able to see me over here. Hello to Tashir. I hope... So, I had intended to ask Patikin during Gang Beasts earlier today, exactly how far did you guys recover in your progress in Division Force, going up the summit? Last... I tend to lose track of exactly what floor it was. I believe you were north of 50, but I wasn't sure by how much. Oh, yes, please. Supplies. Okay, so now that our immediate pursuers are dead, let's take a quick look around and see if there's some iron that we can pick up. Oh, Patikin's saying that he didn't play until 50 himself. Floor 50, okay. So that is, for anybody who is curious what we're talking about, the Division 2 added an update called the Summit, which is a 100-floor skyscraper. What is happening here? Is that good? We've never before released a bird from a cage. That's a new experience. So I'm assuming that was an act of kindness. Hopefully that wasn't like a plague bird or something. And what happened recently is, if you watched our previous episode of this game, then you know that Ubisoft released a patch that did some balancing changes and some other stuff, and consequently reset everybody's progress in the Summit. And that was particularly disappointing to the folks in Division Force, people like Tashir, SG Tiffany, G-Nice, Patikin, probably several others whose names I'm forgetting right now, because they were at floor 100. They were actually at the Summit, and now their progress has been reset. So it's good to hear that they are already halfway back up The way that these things work, that's going to be, they're geographically halfway up, but the actual process is going to, you know, each floor is going to be harder than the one before it. Okay, we've already got a wind chime. Hypnos is asking if the stream is stuttering for anybody else. Let me just take a quick look because... Okay, so Confused Hypnos is going to refresh. Do so, and do let us know if it is misbehaving. Let's, let me just, mute for 1 second. Let me, consult here. 1 second. All right, we made a small change. We'll see if that is helpful. Yeah, it's very valuable. So Tashir, Patikan, Mia, Ricardo are all saying that it's good for them. I just, we've had occasions where, like, here's a good example. When we did a sort of a preview stream of Horizon Zero Dawn, it generally seemed fine, but when we looked back at the VOD afterwards, it was so hitchy. Like, this was on the, like, the recorded version that was then going to be available for people up until it expired, and it looked awful in terms of, like, it was so... And I think that we figured out why, but sometimes it can... There can be varying experiences for people, and we'd like to make sure that as many people as possible can watch and enjoy. So hopefully it evens out for Hypnos. It would be fun to... Whoops. It would be fun to continue to keep him company while he's doing his work. Let me just make sure that these Sashimoto banners, they don't have any sort of story to them. Yeah, it's just like small flags. Particularly saying Twitch being Twitch. Oh, so as long as we're sort of hanging out here, in a couple of weeks, I believe it is November, it's either the 7th or the 8th, or maybe it's the 7th and the 8th, we are going to be participating in the 2020 Extra Life Marathon to raise money. The particular charity that we'll be playing for is for the Bay State Children's Medical Center in Springfield, Massachusetts. I did not know that this person was here. Hey. They're a children's hospital that specialize in helping kids with cancer, cystic fibrosis, juvenile arthritis, all sorts of severe conditions that need and require medical care. And Extra Life is a wonderful event that happens every year. And this will be one of the first years that we're able to directly participate. We will be participating with sort of in a relay-style marathon with more than Amia and Drienne Levode. There may be other members of the Sunny community that are also participating. That would be fantastic. What I would sort of ask is that if anybody has any capacity to donate to a children's hospital during that time, it would be greatly appreciated. Whether it's ours, Mia's, anybody else's, you could donate at Game Informer, at GameSpot. GameSpot and GameStop still stop me up for a moment. GameSpot, Giant Bomb, your favorite small streamer. But the children's, like the Extra Life Marathon is such an awesome event, and we are very, very much looking forward to it. Oh, and chivalry, yes. I'm so sorry. Okay, I feel like I'm mostly just searching a bunch of tent huts that we've already been through. I believe that yellow marker that we see dead ahead is the... I guess the... swallows or whatever those... I have no idea what kind of bird that is. They're like a main objective here, which is interesting. I don't know what they represent. I very, very much want to observe the enemy leader. Oh boy. I can't tell if that man with the spear, the one that's standing up, is suspicious or just exercising his shoulders. If Marquardt comes back, when Marquardt comes back for the next stream, somebody please remind me to tell him how much I enjoy the arrows in this, because that was one of the points of curiosity that he had, and I don't feel like I've successfully communicated how much I enjoy shooting guys in the head in this game. Patine saying stalker? Oh, absolutely. I will stalk the shit. Yeah, so there's the leader. We can see him there, the yellow cross swords. The only thing is that we can only observe him if he's unaware of us. Okay, I did not see that person on the pier, so we're gonna have to work our way around. I feel like I can get him without his buddy noticing. You know, among other things, wouldn't you much rather be killed by a sharp blade thrust up through your chin and into your brain pan so quickly that you don't even have time to feel much more than a very rapid sense of shock? Like, I would much rather have that over, like, a samurai with a sword choosing this precise moment at which he's going to carve open my sternum. Hypnos is asking, if you could change any one game mechanic, what would you change? I'd wish for an arena or something where the NPCs charge at you. So, off the top, like, my immediate response to that is one thing that I would love in games generally like this, and this one is no different, is a combat mode. Like a combat challenge. They did this in, like, here's the archetypical version of this. In all the Batman games, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and so forth, they have the challenge mode where it's basically just a room with waves of guys. It's a score attack mode against these waves of enemies. And whatever you feel about score attack mode, it is so valuable for getting comfortable with the combat system. And I would love something like that because I feel like it's going to be very important for me to grow more comfortable with the different attack patterns. Like what we're doing right now, sneaking around, skulking. I don't know how long this is going to be a viable strategy. Can we Assassin's Creed 3 this and find a way to climb up the outside? Black Flag. We cannot. Nope. He's no Edward Kenway. So that's less of a change and more of an addition. Something that I'd love to see added in. How are we going to get up there to see this guy? Where'd he go? So here's what I'm thinking. I think the leader's gonna come down. Yep, he's gonna see that his friend is dead. And we don't want to be anywhere around there. And then, as they tend to do in video games, he's going to sort of lose interest in the fact that that guy that he was just having a chat with is now leaking out through the boards, and just go back to whatever he was practicing. And then maybe we can get up there and have a look at his combat style. Ricardo is making a good point. He'd actually prefer not to be murdered at all. Where... Okay. Alright, so somebody's blowing their morning horn. Nope. I may have to give up on the dream of observing this person. Whoops. I don't think I need to submerge. Stop it. Well, there he is. We didn't get to, See, like, I gotta learn his... Sir, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of something. I'm gonna have to ask you to wait over there. But, like, I need to learn how this guy fights so that I'm not constantly getting worked by his... Man, I could have gotten two things if I could only have observed him. Anyway, Batman is a very, very good game, and it's got a very, very deep and interesting combat system that rewards variety... Challenge remaining enemies. Okay. Let's do it. Oh! And what I was getting at is that the combat is allowed to shine when you have an ample opportunity to practice it in a controlled environment where you get to see, okay, this is how this enemy type operates. This is how I need to prioritize enemies. And that is something that I think that any game with a focus on combat really benefits from. You know, Infamous 2, they're almost like third-person shooters, so I don't feel as driven by those. But something like this, what is this? Mongol artifacts, yes please. I like reading about these. The proliferation of gunpowder technology throughout Europe during the High Middle Ages has largely been due to the use of explosives and firearms by the Mongols as they pushed beyond Asia. Gunpowder also played a major role in the Mongol conquest of China. One of the most notable such weapons used during the invasion of Japan is a small explosive bomb used to injure and panic the samurai's horses. Yeah, the perfect parries, and thank you for the congratulations on that. The perfect parries are remarkably satisfying. They make you feel so badass in that moment. I would love to be doing them more on purpose. Geez, it really wants me to go into the Firefly here. How do I get into this? Oh, you just walk in. Oh, sorry, there's nothing here. I actually really like this bed, because if you look at the bed, it's in the dead center of the ship, which, if this ship was out in the ocean and rocking back and forth or tilting in the waves, it is the point in the ship that would move the least. It's the axis around which the entire rest of the ship moves. So that's actually, like, when I say it's a nice touch, I mean, I assume that ships like this were designed in that way because it makes an incredible amount of sense. Confused Hypno says that the parry shield mechanic in God of War was amazing too. It really was. Yeah, so Hypnos, I don't know that you were here during the last time that I brought it up as a comparison point, but we're playing this game on hard. One of the last games that I played on hard was the PS4 God of War game, and the game did not immediately introduce the concept of how to block or parry with that shield. And the first episode, you know, it's one of those things where, in retrospect, it would have been nice to have a death counter because, holy hell, I died so many times. Okay, Conversations with the Khan 3. A very interesting week. Koden Khan was holding Lord Shimura captive at Castle Kanata. He confided that the former Jito, I hope that's pronounced correctly, is more valuable to him alive than dead. In fact, Koten plans to make him an offer. Through spies and informants, Koten knows that Shimura's ambitions reach beyond Tsushima, and he also knows Shimura's wife and sons died prematurely and tragically, so he lacks an heir. Koten's offer: join the Mongol cause, and Shimura will be made a shogun, to rule as Koten's right-hand man, and along with Goryu, aid Koten in overthrowing Kubla. Any man who would stand in the way of Koten Khan is a fool, and from what I hear, Shimura is many things, but not that. Yeah, I remember there was one, I think it was one of the, let's say, optional boss fights. I don't want to, like, say too much about a game that we're not currently playing, but it was one of the, like, late or even post-story boss fights, and somebody came in, you know, one of those visitors who will occasionally drop by to share their wisdom and how great they would be at the game. And this person said, you know, LOL, don't you know how to perfect parry? And I did, and did it quite often in the game, but this particular enemy was working me real hard. And that is an experience in this game as well. I'm relatively, no, I can't say relatively. I feel okay about the regular parry, but the perfect parry, where you get that huge cinematic flash, no, I'm still missing something. That cinematic slowdown and flash, and that opportunity to, you know, commit this critical strike against the enemy. That, I like the fact that I can't quite do it on command, because it makes it all the more special when it comes up. You know what it is? It's the difference between hearing your favorite song when you press play on YouTube or hearing your favorite song when it comes up on the radio. You're so excited when it comes up on the radio because you never get to hear it on the radio, because all they ever play is Miley Cyrus and Lorde and Miley Cyrus. So the idea that they're, you know, oh my God, I love this song so much. So where do we think it is? So I'm probably looking for one flag. Is that it? Do I have a checklist still? Do we know how to make it come up? Guiding wind target. Oh, I don't know what I'm missing. Destroy shipyard. So I probably need to... Oh, destroy the black powder cache. Now it tells me. And I need to... do that. Okay, it's not... The wind does not blow. It has no further information for us. Particularly remembers playing the older God of War games on the highest difficulty level to get the trophies on the remasters. Yeah, I played all 3 of the primary God of Wars just on normal difficulty level, and had a good time with them, made steady progress, really enjoyed the puzzles. That's the thing. Thank you. Tashir says that was a good analogy. The thing that I mostly remember about, like, God of War 2, for example, the combat was good, but the puzzles were great. Like, I really like the puzzles. Same thing with the first Darksiders game. Darksiders 1. What I mostly remember about that game is the puzzles and the story. Darksiders, I talked about this a lot in Darksiders 3, where I could discuss it in a little bit more detail. The first Darksiders game has an incredibly strong ending that I really like, and I also said this: if you didn't play the game, don't bother looking it up, because it's not going to land for you. It is an ending that is very much deserved by the events of that story, and I really, really enjoyed it. But mostly what I remember is these really complicated puzzles. I made the comment to, gosh, who was I talking to about this? That, like, sometimes, you know, the difference between a puzzle and an obstacle is whether or not you're supposed to think your way through it. And some of the things in Darksiders and God of War 2 were really like, okay, I have to work out what the mechanics are here so that I can think of a solution, as opposed to, like, do a reflex. Like the bamboo strikes in this, it's not a puzzle, it's just like, can you press the buttons quickly enough? I do not know where the black powder cache is. I would kind of expect it to be on the ship. Like, this is a Mongolian ship, right? I mean, if I wanted to make use of a black powder cache to blow up the shipyard, this would be a good place for it. Destroy the black powder cache. I feel like the last time that we did this, it had like a map objective, like a marker to follow. Maybe I'm just not close enough to it. All right, roll. There we go.
But useful.
There were a handful of things in Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I needed to look up, and one of them was like, there were a lot of outposts dotted around the map. You know, this is super not a spoiler. You've seen this mechanic in other games, including this one. And one of them in particular was so, like, sort of oddly defined that I must have searched for 25 minutes to find the last thing that I needed, and ultimately had to look it up because I could not find it. Patikin loves puzzles in games, especially those types of games. Reason he's looking to playing... Yeah, Immortals, I gotta say, I'm very interested in. Immortals has a very, very dumb name. What is it? Phoenix Rising? Fenixs? Something like that. I'm open to suggestions at this point. If I have passed near a black powder cache, I haven't recognized it. I don't exactly know what it looks like, and it's not coming up on the map. So if anybody has seen it around or has suggestions on where I should go, this is a good example of what I was talking about. The location of the black powder cache I don't think is supposed to be a puzzle. I think it's supposed to be self-evident, and I am just not finding it. Phoenix Rising. Fenix. And here's the thing, like, when I say that is a bad name, what I mean is the developers were required to change it. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to make a careful examination of the inside of the ship. We're going to make absolutely sure that it's not inside the ship. And then I'm going to stop coming to the ship. We have to start crossing off what the... There it is. Okay. I don't know where I was that I didn't find this before, but we will hold to ignite. Yeah, and Patikin, is that what it was? They had to change it because of Monster Energy Drink? It is something exactly that dumb. I just don't remember exactly what it was. That is like... Remember when Bethesda sued Mojang because... Hold on, I don't want to press anything. This is adorable. Okay, now I'm pressing something. Oh, here he comes. I really like that. So now it's done. Yes? Okay. Destroy shipyard. We did it. Shinagori's Rest. We did that. And there's nothing here. That's what's curious. Nothing at Komatsu Fort. At least not yet. I know it's coming up. So... Now what we're going to do is go get some upgrades at the Golden Temple. We're going to spend those 2 technique points that we just got, and then we are going to go do story stuff. What was I going to say? Mojang, or Bethesda sued Mojang because they had a game in development called Scrolls, and Bethesda sued, or ZeniMax sued, who knows who sued who, or which parent company sued, because it was going to get confused with the Elder Scrolls. Because when you think of scrolls, the only one that you should think of is the Elder Scrolls. That, at that point, I think is just straight up patent trolling to me, but
for a great bow.
There is no great substitute for a great bow. So... We can spend many supplies, and what are we getting here? We're getting... Oh, look how much faster the draw speed is. Better stability, better reload speed, and better damage. That is going to take all of our supplies, though. So before we commit to that, I really want to upgrade the bow. But let's go take a look at the sword upgrade, because the bow is useful. The sword is critical. Who is yelling, please let me go?
I'll do whatever I can to help you.
Okay. Well, mostly I just want to make sure that no one was in distress.
I can help improve your blades, my lord.
Yeah, so unfortunately, bow versus sword, sword wins. Also, is the sword also... Oh, it is. Yeah, the design on the sword changes a little bit. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead with this.
Your blade is ready.
And I think that eats up most of our supplies. Okay, done. Let's upgrade our techniques. We got 3 points. I did not know that we had that many. So, I think it's time to do... We've seen enough perfect parries at this point that I want to recover a small amount of health when I do it. So we're going to select that. Deflect arrows, I am increasingly seeing the value of it. Also, it's cool, but before we do that, let's go take a quick look, because we recently got Typhoon. Typhoon kicks launch your enemy farther back and deal extra stagger damage. Farther back than what? A cannonball to the gut? I mean, it already goes so far. How can I say no to that? And then for our ghost upgrade, if we have 3 points to spend on 3 different things, as we just saw, I think it might be time for far hearing. That seems like a good choice. Also, Firecracker seems like it might be a good... You know what Firecracker would pair real well with? The Black Powder Bomb, which we don't have. So I think round about the time, what we'd want to do is get a whole bunch of people together in one area and then Black Powder Bomb all of them. I think that's where that ability is really going to shine. So instead... I do really want Chain Assassination, though. I'm going to do Far Hearing. Because the thing is, Far Hearing, you know, the better sense we have of where guys are, then the easier it'll be to do Chain Assassinations.
He'll bring good fortune.
Confused Hypnos never noticed the design changes. Yeah, I only notice it. It's very subtle. It's the design on the, like, at the base of the blade. It gets a little bit more intricate, I notice, as you go up. And the only reason I noticed it is because you could see the sword loading in. Like, it was loading in a new texture or whatnot. At which point I was like, oh, I wonder what the difference is. Also, it's been a minute, so let's go into our gear. Nope. Let's go into our gear. And let's, mix up our colors here. It's been a while since we had yellow. Patikin says that there's an achievement or trophy for kicking guys off of a cliff. I'll have to give that a shot. I like trophies. We've talked about this some from time to time, but the best trophies or achievements are ones that encourage you to expand the way that you are encountering, interacting with the game. Hold on. These gates means that there's a temple around, and I want to check the map to see if we've gone to this one, and it looks like we have, so we're going to disregard this. More than me is saying that I don't like trophies, I like kicking guys off of cliffs, to which I respond, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Here's an example of like it's the sort of let me do some practice fighting here.
Challenge me.
Also, we'll make sure that our what's it called are up. Resolve our moons. Like a set of achievements that stayed with me, like that I think fondly of, were in. Oh, boo, I went to kick him. What was the name of that game? It was an Xbox 360 game and also on PC. It was made by Raven Studios, and it was a first-person shooter with a lot of time manipulation mechanics. And it wasn't Time Shift. Oh, darn it. Boy, this one's... like, the name of the game is actually kind of incidental, because what I liked about it was that...
travelers murdered.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm glad that I killed those people. It had all sorts of achievements for, like, kill 20 enemies with the pistol, kill 20 enemies with the shotgun, and, like, whatever the different weapons were. Because it's the sort of game where it would be very easy to settle into 1 or 2 weapons that you really like, and then never really experiment with the others. The presence of those achievements incited you to check out all of the different weapons, and at a minimum, to get a sense for how much work the developer had put into making all of them fun. Oh, hold on. I wanted to read chat, but there's a yellow bird. Actually, pause it for 1 second. Patikin says reminds him of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the Sparta kick. I did not have the Sparta kick in any part of my playthrough. Hello to Haseo. Haseo, please tell me that you've played this game. This game is, like, right up the alley of what I would expect Haseo to enjoy. Singularity. Patikin has it in 1. Thank you very much. Yeah, those are so those like achievements like that are fun to get. They expand your interaction with the game, as opposed to contract it. Like here's an example of not a very well designed achievement. There's one in the first Mass Effect game to play the majority of the game with each of the possible party members. And when they say the majority of the game, they mean that you need to min-max your interactions with those characters to get them as early as conceivably possible to even have a chance at the achievement. And then never use any other characters at all. Hold on a second.
Run. Find a better place to hide.
Samurai,
What happened to you?
there's a merchant working with the Mongols. They gave him an iron mark. We tried to take it from him, but he had too many guards.
This iron mark must be worth a lot to risk your lives for it.
Whoever carries it is free to travel the roads without fear of being stopped by Mongols.
I could find a use for that.
You're welcome to it. We had to flee, but the merchant's cart is still up the road.
I'll look for this iron mark. Stay here and tend to your wounds.
Be careful. The Mongols will come looking for their men.
Well, I will be there for them to find. Oh. Pass through opening. Just to round out, actually, let me address Hiseo. Hiseo put in 50 hours of work. A, I very much know the feeling. B, I hope that you are being fairly and appropriately compensated for that. Although it would not surprise me if you're not yet. And C, he says that he has played this but hasn't beaten it yet. If I followed chat correctly, hopefully. This is a very, very good game. So, yeah, Hiseo, I hope that you wind up... I hope you are enjoying it as much as I did. Hold on, let's listen. Don't hear anybody.
Mongols. They fought the men I spoke with.
Hiseo is saying that he's getting overtime, which can be really good. I mean, overtime can be very, very valuable for people, so that's good.
Merchant.
Just seeing if there's anything else before we go investigate the cart. No. Okay.
The iron mark isn't here.
What? Oh, the spear guy's protecting his friends.
The Mongols may be searching for the men I met. I'd better warn them.
Okay, we will go warn them. Let me just see if there's anything to pick up on these fellows. Dean hated the spear guys in this game so much. The spear guys, at least for me, at least I feel like they are predictable. They always do the, at least the guys that I've faced so far, here's the unblockable thing. So I know, okay, I'm going to sidestep and then strike. Same with the big mace guys. They have an attack pattern that I've grown relatively comfortable with. But yeah, when they get paired up with like the shield guys or the dual sword guys, uh-oh. This doesn't feel great.
Please, my lord. You have to save the merchant with the iron mark. He's my brother.
Your brother?
I was stealing the mark to stop him from dishonoring his family.
If he agreed to help the Mongols, he deserves to die.
No, he's a good man. Please.
I can't promise his safety, but I'll try to find him.
Thank you.
The Mongols who killed him left tracks. There, headed that way.
Headed that way, he says. This way, I think. No? Hold on a second. Okay, yes, this way. Maybe it's because it's night. Ah, here we go. Okay, muddy path.
They turned off here.
Off here. I want to get the bear. I don't want to lose the... Okay. My experience with bears in other games have led me to believe that it's going to take many arrows to put down a bear. But in this game so far, they've been fairly easy to take on. Okay, let me look at the tracks again. So they go sort of up that hill. Oh, what I was about to say before is that maybe it's because it's nighttime, but this trail has been more challenging to follow so far. Here we go, though. I feel like we're on the right track. But saying the bears are realistic. If you take an arrow to the head, you die, right? But don't bears have like extremely thick skulls and thick hides? Like, I've never tried to fight a bear, but I think that you'll take my word for it, because if I had, I would not be here to describe it. They seem like tanks with a heartbeat. Okay, yep. See, so really, really liking our expanded listening. We can actually hear the guy on the other side of the road there, the other side of the house. So we have a good sense on where everybody's facing and who is vulnerable to a swift hello. Although this person is apparently not. I guess I can't quite propel myself that far down a cliff. I think what we're going to do, we're going to take the chivalry advice and swap out for our good armor. Which, by the way, has an extra charm that we haven't filled. Okay, so deal bonus damage while we're at half health. Killing enemies restores a moderate amount of health. Reduces damage taken while at half health, and attacks have a 5% chance to do double damage. You know what would be nice if we added to that? Let's add our second charm of dual destruction. I'm going to take a quick look through to see if there's anything else I really care about having in here. Nope, looks good to me. Okay. So we are a... Oh, and you know what? It's the other thing. We haven't recently switched out our colors, so... Yeah, it's been a while since we've gone yellow. Let's do that. And then... I think I'm just going to keep the helmet the same. I feel like the helmet and the mask work well with this particular outfit. Like, I feel like if you shot a bear directly through the eye such that you hit the brain, then it's going to be dead. But if you hit a bear almost any other place, it's just going to be, it's like stabbing a human with a needle. They're going to be very unhappy about it. It's going to hurt, and you're going to piss them off, but you're very unlikely to kill them. I know nothing about, like, please, I'm not, like, the bear expert here. I'm just... It is not the first time that in playing this game I've been surprised that a bear goes down with the amount of damage that they take. It's different than I've seen presented in other games. Oh no. Okay, so Big Man is not going to be able to see us because we're on the other side of this fence, unless this guy keeps coming. Okay, well... Oh! I feel like I took a hit there, and yet my health bar is all the way up. That's odd. Also, let's draw the distinction between recognizing that the bears don't take very much to kill or complaining about it. I'm very, very happy that the bears do not require a significant investment in time and energy because I enjoy fighting the humans a lot more. Remember in Crisis, when, like, all of a sudden there were aliens and the whole rest of the game was way less fun than, like, the part where you were fighting humans?
It's not safe to move.
Who, that guy? That's who you're afraid of? I'm gonna take care of him. I say I'll beat that on Superhuman. Crisis, the first one? Jeez. I tried it on the harder difficulty levels just because I enjoyed Crisis so much and I had a lot of trouble on it. That is impressive, Haseo. And hello to Azaric. Crisis 2, he says.
You saved my life. Thank you.
Save your thanks. Your brother told me you work for the Mongols.
They promised to protect my family and our sisters if I carried supplies for
And
them.
now your brother is dead. He led the men who tried to steal your iron mark.
No. Oh, that fool. No wonder the Mongols thought I betrayed them. I never had any iron mark. Besides, they are engraved with the bear's name.
So no one else can use them. You're free to go. If I hear you're working for the Mongols again...
They'd sooner kill me. And I cannot face my family after this. I have nothing. Nothing. What can I do now? What do I live for?
Well, I'm glad we're not going to wind up killing this guy. Oh my gosh, Azric, thank you so much for the resubscription. Charm advantage. Hold on. Let's... Hold on. Gear. Stop. Gear. This. Charm of advantage. Ghost weapons deal 20% more damage. Well, that is not appropriate for this armor. We're going to switch back to our non-armor. Oh, hello to Marquack. Marquack, if you weren't here earlier, I wanted to reiterate how much I enjoy the bow in this game. It was one of the things that you had asked about, and it is a lot of fun to interact with. Ooh, stance progress. Yes. Yeah, we are gonna work our way south. Yeah, Azaric, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, so maybe it's a hot take. I don't feel like it is, but I had so much fun with Crisis up until it was Aliens, and then I did not have fun with it anymore. I played all the way through Crisis 2. I think Crisis 2 is an example of a game that I played it on one of the harder difficulty levels and it wasn't the hardest for sure, but I think I played it on like the level above normal and didn't have a super fun time with it, so I never wound up playing Crisis 3.
Looking for me?
Oh yeah, the flowing foliage in the wind is really gorgeous. The reason I'm glad that we didn't kill the merchant is because not everybody who is allegedly working with the enemy is actually working for the enemy. Some of them might be diverting supplies to people that need them. Some of them might be deliberately slow walking it to delay the distribution of goods and services. There's lots of ways to fight a war, and although I believe that collaborators and traitors need to be dealt with, I think that there has to be a fair finding of fact if they are collaborators or not. And I don't feel like I had enough information about that person. Okay. Person on perch. Person on perch goes first. Then we've got a couple guys here. And then there's the leader right there. Oh, and another person on perch. Okay, I don't think I'll be able to assassinate him from here. Let's go get the other guy in the watchtower. Now, I know that he can shoot this far. What I don't know is, like, where I need to line it up on the mark. So maybe I should practice and find out. Come on. There we go. Patikin's going to drop a lurk. Patikin, thank you so much. Thank you for a couple things. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the lurk. And thank you for the games earlier today. Yellowbird, I can't follow you right now. There's another person on perch right there. Oh, God. I want to try to get him, but I'm just not certain if I can land the shot here. And if I miss, look at all those guys down at the base of the tower. So, and he's also moving some. Okay, we got it. So our goal is to get within range of that leader so that we can observe him and, again, double up on our stance progress. Earlier today, Patikin, Mia, Chivalry, and I all got a chance to play some Gang Beasts for the very first time. It's a very neat game that reminds me a lot of a game I have not played yet, Human Fall Flat, such that actually came up during the conversation as another game that would be a lot of fun to check out. So I think we need to get a little bit closer to him, and he's facing this way, so we need to approach him from the opposite side. This should be a lot easier now that the lookouts are dead. Yes. Yes. All right. Perfect. Observe leader. I'm so looking forward to having all of the stances. One of the critiques of the Batman games, particularly Arkham Asylum, I feel like, is that detective vision mode is so useful that there's no conceivable reason not to be using it all of the time. Okay. Oh, who did I miss? Is that a new archer? Did I actually, like, overlook one? Hey, what's your face? Sorry, buddy. I promise you and I are gonna settle up. Okay. It's a lot of slow-mo all in a row. Okay, now Buzzing Firefly has something to say. Something is inside this tent, I assume. Yes. Okay, Mongol artifacts. The Paisa. The Paisa is a special tablet given to Mongol officers and envoys that entitle them to certain privileges, such as the use of special supply points, as well as the ability to conscript goods and services from the civilian population. They are also distributed overseas to merchants as a means of strengthening their ties to the Mongol Empire. Probably badly mispronouncing that. One thing that Crisis 2 did really well was the way that it simplified the control scheme from the original Crisis. In the original Crisis, you had to, like, basically middle mouse button down and then select the different superpower modes of your suit. Speed mode, strength mode, armor mode, and so forth. And at the time, I enjoyed that level of sort of tactical interaction with your suit. That seemed like a neat thing. In Crisis 2, they simplified that in a way that just kind of made a lot of sense relative to how a first-person shooter works, where, if I remember correctly, you were always in armor mode unless you held down shift to sprint, in which case you went into speed mode. Or if you wanted to go into strength mode, I think all you had to do was like do a melee attack and it would just automatically shift into that. It removed like a small amount, and I do stress a small amount of the skill in playing well, but I think that what it replaced it with was a lot of accessibility and not having to like be so ticky-tack in how you were interacting with the game. I think the only thing you had to toggle on and off was the invisibility mode, the stealth mode. We're following Yellowbird. Unless it flies off a cliff. Having forgotten that I can't do that. Oh, it's gonna break my ankle. Where'd you go? Oh. Okay, I think I see there's something down there. Yes. Adrienne was voting to jump in the water from way up there. Also, hello to Adrienne, who did a very interesting stream earlier today in which they talked, among other things, about growing up in a house with a professional doll maker, which we will circle back to just after I compose a haiku. I feel like overwhelming force is better for us here.
Overwhelming force. Overtaking all it sees. Rushing to the end.
Oh, I didn't view. We're gonna check out our new headband. Mia's asking if she missed the haiku nudity. No. There's bathing nudity. There's no haiku nudity. Oh, there is a gift altar. But I don't want to go back. Gear. Outfit. Headband. Headband of the Invasion. Ooh, I really like that. And it goes really very well with this outfit. Okay, so let's set a course for where we're going to go, and I think that this question mark is a good pick. And then we're going to make our way down to Fort Tsushima. So, Drienne was talking about, like, one of the things that came up, and this is something that Mia was surprised to learn or realize as well. Drienne was talking about, like, how the porcelain faces were made, and discussed the creation... Oops. Hold on, I'm pressing every button except the call Sora button. There we go. And talking about how, you know, the mold is made and then the porcelain is poured in to create the face, and how each face mold was custom made, generally based on detailed photographs of, like, front on and then the profile of the face, and then sort of making use of, like, a mathematical formula to arrange it so that it would come out properly. And one of the details is like, yeah, and then the porcelain is poured in. And it's like, well, hold on, let me deal with this, because these guys are somewhat better equipped than the average. Oh, Christ. Okay, this is fine. Oh, boy. No, it was too far. Crap! Oh, I almost pulled it up. If I could have killed one more guy, I would have had enough to recharge. But those are the guys I need to learn how to fight. Like, the rank and file bandits that are just wearing rags. Yeah, I'm a real tough guy when it comes to those. I need to learn at, you know, getting better at fighting the groups of dudes, prioritizing my targets, and making proper use of my tools. Yeah, so it came up that, like, you know, and then you pour the porcelain in so that it can, you know, take the shape and harden and so forth. And Mia had the same reaction that I did, which is like, Wait a second. Porcelain is poured? And Mia heard me observe this earlier today as well, because I talked to her about it afterwards. It was like, yeah. And this was me talking to myself about this. What did I think porcelain did? Like, that they had like a big rock of porcelain that they chipped away at it like it was marble? Like, I guess I just never really considered what porcelain is in terms of, like, it's a liquid that they pour in and then it hardens into the shape that they need it. And of course it is, because what else would it be? I just never realized that or thought about it. Oops. Also, let's take a moment to appreciate the fact that Batikan said, "Oh man, that he hated the shield, the spear guys so much," and I was like, they're not so bad. I feel like I understand their attack pattern, and then just immediately got skewered, got shish kebabbed by the very next spear guys that we faced. Hardens and then has to be fired in the kiln, Brienne says. Yeah, it was really interesting to listen to. If anybody is interested, it is in, as of the moment of this speaking, Drienne Levaude's most recent stream of Don't Starve Together. I was paying a lot of attention to the story and not so much attention to gameplay, because we've been learning Don't Starve Together, and I didn't want to pick up too much information from it, from the game. But the story was really, really interesting. Like, for example, they had neighbors that go all out during Halloween, and they would borrow currently unused doll parts to decorate out elements of the Halloween. Sorry, none of the words are coming to me this evening. To decorate out parts of the Halloween decorations, which is a good use of available materials. Oh boy. So this bear didn't die in a single hit. Or a second hit. Okay, that's more like it. Yes, I'm coming. I'm coming, Fox. Yeah, if anybody listening to this is interested in some expert level Don't Starve Together play, you know, how do I survive winter and then spring and then presumably this following summer? Check out twitch.tv/Drienne Levaude. That's DRIEN_LAVODE. They play with a group of friends, and these folks know that game inside and out. Okay. We are on our way. It'll be a while until we get that next minor charm slot, but... Wait. Where's the fox? Not hanging out up here. I will be bummed if it turns out that there is a trophy for petting every fox, because there's been a few that I have not been successful at finding afterwards. We'll always look. We may not find. Adrian saying that their mother doesn't make dolls anymore, but now she makes jewelry. She's always been super creative. I was thinking, by the way, during that story, Drienne, it's a shame that the dolls are no longer made, because while listening to that story, I was just thinking to myself, wouldn't it be neat if there was a series of streams or videos, either here on Twitch, on YouTube, about like, this is the creation of a single doll from start to finish, like all the way through, from the photography to the...
Stand and fight me!
Yeah, I need resolve. I am dead on moons. Alright, now we have full moons. Oh! Okay, I'm perfectly doing the wrong thing. I'm spending a lot of time trying to learn how to parry and dodge when maybe what I need to be focused on is just killing them as soon as possible. Maybe it's not critically important for me to learn how to dodge and
This is a
parry.
miracle.
Be careful up there.
Please, this is for you.
Oh, she gave us a small amount of experience. All right. Oops. Yeah, we're on to the next, it's a minor quest, a side quest, but that's okay. Another thing that's, like, super well done in this game is everything feels really rewarding. Even when it's a small amount of experience like that, we still help somebody out. Drian is saying that they should get back into sculpting. I can only say that I think it would be really interesting to see a process like that from start to finish. Although I hear you about the lack of space and money for a kiln. That must have been, like, it's one of those things that's a very rarefied art, not only because of the talent, but also the materials and the... Okay, apparently we're going to Pleasantville? What is happening on the other side of this river? Wow, all of the color drained out of the world. Have we been to this homestead before? I remember being someplace like this, but no, this is all new. Want to follow Yellowbird.
My lord, have you come to help the Azamo League too?
Yes, I'll be right back. I just have to, yes, do this. Oh. Okay, it's 4 X's. What is it? L1 and then square. Okay. I promise you I'm pressing L1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. Almost. One, two, three, 4. There we go. I must have been miscounting. Okay, well, that was well worthy of following the doors. So, before we do this, let's actually see what the quest is. Like, what did we learn about this? Which is right here. There's some Azamo who want to fight back against the Mongols, but they are not samurai and will only endanger their lives. I should seek them out. I don't know what Azamo is in this, at all.
My lord, have you come to help the Azamo League too?
Azamo.
I've never heard of them.
Farmers and fishermen banded together to fight the Mongols. I've come from Ariake to train them.
I admire their bravery. How is the training going?
They were supposed to meet me here hours ago. I was about to look for them.
I'll ride with you.
Hihu, thank you so much for the lurk. I'm glad that it was fun to watch, and I hope that you have a great evening.
Their leaders stay at a farmhouse nearby. They'll know where the main force is camped. As a child, I dreamed of becoming a samurai. Now, I'm riding with a real one.
But you know how to fight, and handle a horse.
My village was constantly raided by pirates on the coast. They killed my parents when I was young. I learned to defend myself. I hope the skills I gained through hardship can be of use to the people here.
You're not so different from a samurai.
My lord, you flatter me.
I feel like I didn't get a chance to interact with
There's a fire up ahead.
The farmhouse!
Hiseo enough. I hope he also gets to, like, decompress from work and stuff. Overtime is great and all. Like, you know, it's
Cut them down.
important to, Hold on a second. Okay.
These are the men I was supposed to meet.
Oh.
If the Mongols found them, they could have found the main force too.
I should have come sooner.
We can still warn the others. Hear that? They might have found the main force.
We have to help them. Hurry, my lord!
Wait!
Okay. Going to fight the main force, that means we are putting on our real armor. Yeah, it's a case where I'm simultaneously happy for Hiseo that he gets overtime and sad that, like, wouldn't it be great if he was simply paid more to work his normal shift and the company also hired additional people so that he didn't have to work overtime?
We're too late.
'Cause I really like it when Hiseo gets a chance to stream.
We can't save everyone.
Then I will avenge the dead.
The samurai remains calm before a fight. Wait!
Pay for your crimes, invaders!
Oh. Wait, don't shoot her. Crap. Okay, I just need that person to not shoot me with an arrow for a few seconds. I have not caught this woman's name yet, but I really want to jump up the hill to see if there's any arrows there. Oh, Hiseo was saying thinking about tonight and hopefully soon. In terms of streaming, which will be, exciting. Okay, good. I didn't get a lot of arrows back out, but at least I got the one I shot in his head. Yeah, as sort of fans of the stream know, I work 2 jobs. My producer has a job. There's the times that we get to stream are important because they oftentimes represent the plurality of free time that we have. And I was talking to Mia the other day, and it's, I think, one of the reasons that there hasn't been as much expansion of emotes and stuff. It doesn't take a lot of time to improve or expand the material on your channel, but it still takes some, and it can be...
We did it!
Hold on a second.
You have skill, but you nearly died rushing into battle.
Don't the Mongols anger you?
A samurai's most important weapon is himself. Lose control, and you risk defeat.
I see. I should return home. Learn to master my emotions.
Keep fighting. We need people like you. But remember the lesson.
I will, my lord.
And I want to look up Osimo and find out more about this, because I don't know anything about it. Like, we can pick up from context that they were maybe a warrior group that, you know, as stated, don't rise to the level of samurai, but may have been respected and useful in their local communities. But I'd love to know more about it. Oh, stealth charm. Charm of hidden sight. What's this about? Enemies stop hunting for you 40% faster. That is not as useful as some of the others, I'd say. But as long as we're here, what we're going to do is switch back to our traveling gear. And yeah, let's switch out for new outfit.
That's my Sora.
Destroy the logging camp. Well, oh, I should also note that we did get a chance to spend 2 gold. Now, Legend Storyteller, that's the multiplayer thing that they just added, right? Let me make sure that there's not a thing to it. As soon as I can... I don't know what it's... Hold on a second. Because, oh, no, there's no Legend Storyteller here anymore. It's odd. All right. Yeah, let's head down and destroy the logging camp.
Let's go, Sora!
You know, I look at streams like Mia's and, like, Tashir's, for example, and, like, they have... There's such a... Hold on, we're gonna get some dialogue here.
Lord Sakai, you must do something. It's Kii's Sake Brewery in Azamo.
That brewery is the pride of Tsushima. I remember the first time I tried Kii's sake.
Soon there will be none left. The Mongols are taking it by force.
I'll see what I can do.
That is actually fairly close to where we are. God, I really want to get to Yuna. Yeah, the broken blacksmith. Well, I'm gonna have to head down there soon. Let me take a quick look around in here. I like it when, you know, you go into a stream and it feels like there's a real sense of identity, you know, designed by the person that made it. And there's so many great examples here. You know, we shout out Mia and Tashir all the time. Haseo has some really cool overlays. He who has some really nice, like, you know, be right back screens. And they're all distinct. They're all unique to the person streaming. And those are really well done. And I admire that work, and it feels like it takes a lot of effort to do correctly. Like, it's easy to slap something up quickly, but to get it up there in a way that looks good, like Haseo, you correct me if I'm wrong, but yours like updates with like the latest subscribers and latest donators and stuff like that, and to get all of that fitting correctly, I know there's scripts and so forth that assist with it, but there's still a lot of what's the phrase that I'm thinking of? There's care that goes into it to make sure that it comes out good and doesn't like distract from the stream, but rather enhances it. And I look at that and I was like, man, it seems like that is challenging to do correctly. At the fox. Oh, Drienne, I can assure you that Mia found the glass eye comment interesting. Whether or not she was with, you know, at the whether or not she's seen that comment in chat. Oh, there she is. She missed it. Yeah. So Mia, Drienne had said above. They can say they don't know many people who've spent time as a kid surveying a wall of examples of glass eyes and picking out the right size and shade for the current projects. Which, it must have been interesting to just grow up in a home that valued artistry. I owe a lot to my parents. Ours was not a particularly artistic home. There were no paintings. You know, there was no painting. There was no like music creation. There was no like drawing. Like these are all things that, you know, my family likes, but doesn't have a lot of personal facility with. Okay, I don't want to stand off with these guys. Bonus: kill an enemy with kunai. Now, stunning an enemy with kunai is doable. Let's see if we can kill an enemy twice with kunai. We're gonna have to find, or we're gonna choose to find a way in that's not the front door. Can we get in through here? Yes, we can. So we can use a wind chime to draw one or more of these guys out of their patrol patterns. But which one? Okay, we might have a winner. That's not a stealth kill. I don't want to kill the prisoners. I am accidentally smashing lots of things. I don't know who's shooting the arrows, but we have not alerted the entire camp, so hopefully it's cool. It's not cool. They've blown the horn. I'm gonna have to eat my words about the upgrade that allows you the enemies to, or they stop searching for you quite so quickly. That seems like it'd be really useful in a situation where I've botched it this bad. This all happened, remember, because I accidentally ran up to the guy, and instead of doing a stealth kill, decided to loudly slash him across the face several times. Oh, brother. Okay. So we're gonna try to lure this person over here. Or that person over here. Okay, do I have any more wind chimes? Oh, I have 3 more. That's very good news. And there's yet more hanging right there. So, if we play our cards right... No, we did not hear that. All right, I did that too far away.
Twing!
I don't know what's got to be in his bonnet, but... Okay, let's grab some replacement wind chimes. Oh, that was all the wind chimes that I needed for right now. Adrian's also saying that their father was a software engineer, so they got a whole different aspect of personality from his side. Well, it's nice to have some balance. Whatever Firefly's buzzing about, it is not that box of crates. I take it back. There was one really significant art project that occurred in my home that I've talked about it before, so if you've seen like a lot of our streams, you've probably heard this story. My mother was hugely into Ultima 4. Ultima 4, The Quest of the Avatar, that was probably the most influential, the most seminal work that Lord British ever did, Richard Garriott rather, and my mother was a gigantic fan of that game. Now, the version that we got, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Boy, hold on, this is bad. Okay, stop. Turns out I don't know who's shooting me with the arrows. Oh, God. Yeah, engaging with professional grade archers that have a height advantage on you, not great. Not great tactically. In any event, the version of the game that we had, there was a world map that, you know, came with the official box version, but we had gotten our copy from a friend who, like, it just hadn't appealed to them. And also the map that it came with, I believe it was a cloth map, was very loose. It was like, here's a general shape of the continents and general locations of all the towns and stuff like that. And also, we did not have it. And this was back before the days of the internet, so it wasn't just a matter that you could download it or something else. So my mother bought a ream of graph paper and drew the entire world of Ultima 4. I don't mean a couple, like, towns or something. And I don't mean that she, like, recreated it from memory. The game was a grid-based game. Hold on. It was a grid-based game. The entire world was made up of, you know, equally sized squares that would denote grassland and swamp and forests and mountains. And my mom drew all of it, the entire world, and did so in like a series of colored pencils, and it was gorgeous. And it was huge. It was gigantic. I don't mean like the big squares either. I mean, it was a gigantic world. Thousands and thousands of squares that she did by hand. And when it was done, it was a perfect relief map of the entire world. And unfortunately, although there might be some pages of this in existence, the totality of it... Was this man asleep? I think he was. The totality of it has been lost. It simply wasn't, like, maintained. And over time, the pages sort of came apart. They were, like, taped together. The loss of that map is one that just weighs on me very heavily. I don't know that it bothers her at all, but it was beautiful. And people would come into the home and they would look at it and comment, like, what is this? And, like, it's one of those things where, like, gaming is kind of mainstream and popular today. At the time, it super wasn't. So attempting to explain to people, like, it's this video game world and the amount of time and effort. Like, they were very impressed by what was clearly a large amount of effort, but the enormity... I apparently cannot assassinate this person from above. From the side? Yes. Because there are sections of the map that are inaccessible to you unless you have a... Like in Ultima 4, spoilers for a 30-year-old game, I guess, you could get a hot air balloon, and the hot air balloon would allow you to fly over mountain ranges, but, like, it went with the wind, and if you landed the hot air balloon, I want to say that either it or your party took damage if you landed on otherwise impassable terrain. So my mom would, like, get whatever healing spells or reagents that you would need to be able to heal back from that and go flying over the mountain so she could count the precise number of tiles that she would then color in with her mountain color. I mean, there's not a lot more to talk about here except the fact that it happened. And so, yeah, it's not that our home was devoid of art. It was just dedicated to a very, very specific kind of art. Uh-oh. Ow and a half. That really got me. Okay. Spear guy and big shield guy. I don't think that I have the wherewithal to take them both. That was not a good use of my last piece of resolve. I'm gonna die. Okay, how do I not die here? I flee! Can I climb up and over this? Yeah, there's no version of that fight that I win anymore. Thank you to Marquack and also to, oh my gosh, Drian saying that their mother did that for King's Quest. So, King's Quest is a series that basically bounced right past me. I've played some of the first one, some of the 6th one. Okay, so here's a question. Which King's Quest was it that came with a song or advertised for a song called The Girl in the Tower? Because I played some of that one and did not make it very far. I really like the Space Quest games. I think this came up in a recent stream. It might have been with Drienne Levaud. I'm trying to remember. I played a lot of one of the Police Quest games. It might have been 3. It might have been 3. I'm not sure. Okay, so you can see that we have recovered at least a small amount of health. Oh, can I observe? Oh, he's not practicing, unfortunately. Oh, because he's still searching for me. Okay, let's hang out for a second. Let's see if he resumes practicing, because then we can observe him. Also, I need people that I can stab in the back. We have to get some resolve back. 6, King's Quest 6. Yeah, so I played some of that and did not make it very far. But Space Quest, I want to say Space Quest 4 was a Sierra game. It is my rare claim to fame in the Sierra sort of field of games that I played Space Quest 4 all the way through from start to finish and never like had to turn to a hint line or get advice from anybody. I was able to pass that entire game. I was so jazzed when I did it too, because I really had a good time with that one. Okay, that's a little more health. I don't think I'm gonna get the bonus here, by the way, for like killing 2 people with a kunai. What I am gonna do, though, let's see if we can lure him out with a bell. Wow, they're just off to a great start. Nope. Oh my god. I totally got the drop on him too, and it still wasn't enough. Well, at least we got our lives back. I think the enemy base camp resets, but let's go find out. If nothing else, this will give us an opportunity to maybe kill a couple of guys with kunai. That said, I have never upgraded. Yep. Yeah, free the prisoners. No, free the prisoners 1 of 3. At least one of the prisoners got away. Maybe this time, take it a little smarter. So what I want to do is just jump across and stab that guy in the back. What I don't know is he going to turn around before I get there. Let's find out. Okay, now I am the man in the tower. 2 guys there, and if I had chain assassination, I'd be able to take them. I think I still can. I think with my... Oops. I think with my slow-mo ability, as long as I've got the arrows for it, I think we can make this work. Whoa! They've got helmets. Or more specifically, their helmets reflect, arrows, which I failed to account for. Brian saying King's Quest 2 is the one that their family and mother mapped out on giant graph paper. That's awesome. If you still have that, I hope that you still have that or have some sort of like photos or records of it, because in retrospect, it is hard to believe that we didn't preserve it and have like photographs of it in a way that my family was never one for photography. and I've actually talked about it semi-recently, that for me personally, having photographs of happy times and happy days actually just tends to make me sad that those days are done. And it's a weird way to look at it, but there's an odd sort of like sadness. So can I shoot this man in the face? Yes. Okay, not the side of the back of the head, but you nail him in the face, they go down. I gotta find out what this Firefly wants. It is really up in my business. Also, probably why the song "Green Sleeves" is so nostalgic. Was that a thing in King's Quest 2? The one thing that I remember about the King's Quest 1 is that, like, at the beginning of the game, I want to say that you were... Oh, do I get a double stab on this guy? What is wrong with him? I mean, I know what's wrong with him. I just want to make sure that I can get more resolve out of ending it. Firefly really wants me to go this way. Is that the boss? Is that the big guy? Well, I'll tell you what. Before we go to the big guy, now that I've got a little bit of resolve, we want to take out his friends. And I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last time, where I just wander into the line of fire. But wait a second, they've got helmets. I'm not sure that I can take him out from a distance. All right, let me Nope, same exact mistake as last time. It's amazing how I learned nothing. Oh. Well, I could have shot that barrel, but I guess this is good too.
Oh no!
I know you're here somewhere. Okay, so we're now at the boss, and the boss has some archer-free support. Okay. The song Green Sleeves, the question was, is that, you said that that's very nostalgic, is that, was that in King's Quest 2? And then I was sort of reminiscing on the fact that the, what I remember about the first King's Quest game is that you were like an apprentice to like a real jerkwad wizard character. And there were certain... Whoops. There were certain, like, chores and stuff that you were responsible for doing, and if you didn't, then you'd get, like, turned into a snail and so forth. Oh! I didn't realize there were so many of you left. I can't move. Okay, I kind of feel like I need to take dog first. No, not horse. Boy, this camp has been an ordeal. Hello to Aleknax. Yes, Ghost of Tsushima. That was the intro music for the game. I'm gonna have to listen to it. I don't recognize it by name. But yeah, King's Quest, I think like 2 and 3 and 4 and probably 5 I didn't play. Pushing Up Roses on YouTube has some really good retrospectives of those games. The backstory to her love of them is notable because she played a lot of those games during the period in time when her father was like taking ill and ultimately died, but they still fill a very nostalgic place in her life because of how much comfort she drew from them and sort of similar games around that time. She has a real love of adventure games and has done, as I said, some really good retrospectives about the King's Quest series. I don't remember specifically what... Oops. Sure. I didn't realize that was a place that we could do that. Alekna says it's the first time that they've heard anybody pronounce it in that way. Well, fortunately for me, because I basically took my best stab at how I thought it would be pronounced, the characters in the game also say it that way, and it is... I guess it is the Japanese pronunciation of it. This Firefly really wants me to see something, and I don't know what it is. Hopefully that flag. Are you satisfied now, little friend? Yes. All right. So let's get some of these prisoners out. I feel like we've cleared the encampment of bad guys. Yeah, Aleknax, I hope that you're doing well. Hopefully you're having a good weekend so far. I'm having a little bit of an unsettled weekend. If this in any way has come across as a lower energy stream than some, I haven't been feeling real great today, but it's actually come around as we've done streaming. When I started the episode, I said, hey, sometimes streaming helps me to sort of like take my mind off things and feel better, and that's certainly the effect that we've had here. And this game is very good. Alex Nance is saying a large amount of schoolwork and played a lot of Dragon Age. Interesting. Which, I know that the last time we spoke, you were spending a lot of time in Origins. I'm curious if that's the one that you have stuck with, or if you've moved on to a lot of, Inquisition. Of all the... I think I mentioned this the last time that we spoke, but of all the Dragon Age games, I think Inquisition is the one that I would most want to see Mia take a spin in, because I feel like it's the most modern of the set, which makes sense because it is the newest of the set. It is highly approachable from both a tactical and a strategic standpoint. It's got a lot of characters, and it's got a lot of like different tracks on which to advance as you're going. Hold on, we're gonna follow Firefly, who I think is pointing this way. I think it's pointing inside this hut. Yeah, most likely, based on the fact that that's where our item is. Conversations with the Khan 4. Lately, Khotan Khan has often spoke of home. A lifelong eagle hunter, before departing for the Goreo campaign, he released his favorite golden eagle, which he nicknamed Little Brother. Then our talk turned once more to politics. The empire is driven by family and tribal clashes, much like our competing clans here. He told me a battle for succession broke out after Genghis Khan's death. About 10 years ago, Kublai emerged the victor, but it is by no means assured he will remain so. Khotan feels the great mistake of Kublai's rivals is a too rigid adherence to the old ways of the steppes, which he compares to what he sees as Lord Chimera's over-reliance on the traditions of the samurai. It would be really neat if in either finding the artifacts or reading these records, Jin came up with weaknesses or other ways to defeat Khotan Khan, since that's sort of like the advantage that he has over the samurai. He's been studying their lands, their techniques, their code of ethics, and he knows how to defeat them by knowing exactly what they're going to do. In any event, chalice, used for anything from mare's milk to bowl, a kind of mead. Reportedly, the Mongols are even known to fill a chalice with oil and toss it on unsuspecting enemies before lighting them on fire. Yes, so I've heard. Really, Alekness has beaten Origins and Dragon Age 2, played some Inquisition, gonna get it on Xbox One because his PC is too low spec to run it well despite being a 6-year-old game. Yeah, Inquisition had pretty high system requirements and ones that aren't necessarily communicated in the early parts of the game. Inquisition was, to my memory, a game where you could play the early part, like the first several hours, and say, oh, this runs pretty well. Like, I don't see any reason to be concerned about this. And then you'll get into, like, the hinterlands, and suddenly it slows to, like, 15 frames a second. Okay, so we do need to find the black powder cache. And see how this one is, like, clearly marked right over there? Remember earlier in the stream where I couldn't find the one that I was looking for? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just overlooked it. But this one was what I was expecting. Yeah, Alekness, I hope you had as much fun with Dragon Age Inquisition as I did. I have very, very fond memories of that game. Okay, big things happening here. Our legend has grown to a new tier. Also, with a Shadow Samurai, I hope that's because... It would be cool if that's because I do so much backstabbing. I do wonder if there's an alternate version of this where we are the Shining Samurai. Okay, we have 2 technique points. So... deflect incoming projectiles while blocking. Well, instead of just looking at that, what else do we have? Gain moderate resolve by using a parry or a perfect parry. That seems really useful. Yeah, anything that gets us more resolve is really important. Kind of feel like I want to get that in my... An unyielding spear parry, parry an unblockable spear attack, which also would be extremely useful. I think I'm gonna beeline for resolve parry. That one's tough to turn down. Oh wait, and then don't we get another ghost weapon as well? Nope, grow your legend. We're not there yet. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for this one. Among other things, that's gonna put us on par with the evasion track. Okay. Yes. So now we'll get back resolve by parrying and perfect parrying, which is very good news. Son of a... Now we get it. Yeah, so as noted, with Black Powder Bomb and the Firework, I think that we can set up some good combos against groups of enemies. So let's grab Black Powder Bomb.
Black powder into a clay pot. I can set it aflame and throw it as a weapon.
Which means that the next upgrade that we get, we're going to want to pick up the Firecracker upgrade. Okay, that's done. Now, the Legend Storyteller, that is... Let me set a course, because I'm about 90% sure that that's the multiplayer character. I just want to really make sure. But Aleknax is making an important... Or, like a point that I think that we all know, but I don't know is necessarily communicated well in the gaming industry. He's saying that he's not having much fun with Dragon Age Inquisition because it runs badly on his PC. And that is the thing. We often talk about how graphics don't make a game. Like Ghost of Tsushima is not good because it looks good. However, it is better because it looks good. And bad graphics can absolutely ruin a game. Bad graphics, a bad frame rate. I know people who were extremely excited for Deadly Premonition 2 on the Switch, such that they were even a little bit surprised when it was getting poor reviews for... Oh, there's the pigs. It's not an arrow. Hold on a second. Deadly Premonition 2 has a frame rate that drops into the mid-teens. Now, I think that there might have been a patch or something to address it, but bad performance can really ruin your enjoyment of an otherwise great game. Here's another example. We got Dragon Quest Builders on the Switch, thinking that, like, oh, the portability of it will be great. Dragon Quest Builders 2, rather, on the Switch, runs at, again, 15 to 20 frames per second a lot of the time, and my producer loves building in that game and produces like really elaborate structures with like lighting and fences and all this, like, you know, it really looks great, and the motivation to continue really dropped out after realizing that it was going to crater the frame rate. So yeah, I get that Aleknax wants to play it on a higher... Yeah, Aleknax is saying what ruins it is the frame rate. Can't get a good balance of resolution and frame rate, so it looks like crap. Yeah, and therefore is not fun. I hear you. Enter Legends mode. Okay, no, we don't want to do that. Maybe someday we'll check out the multiplayer, but no time soon. So, it's about 10:30 p.m. here on the Eastern Seaboard. You know something, because I've been feeling a little bit off, what we're going to do is, yeah, let's go get our gift altar. Maybe that'll be enough to do an upgrade on one of our weapons or the armor, and then we will stop by the trapper and get our next sort of ranged weapon upgrade, and then that will probably round it out for this episode. It is a testament to this game that I really don't want to stop playing, but recognize that I probably need to for my own health. Yes, so that was 100 supplies. We have 3 upgrades. We've most recently done the sword. Let's go take a quick look to see... Yeah, where's the armorer?
Allow me to strengthen your armor, my lord. Do I have the protection you need?
Okay, so we can do either one. Let's check it out. Travelers attire, which I do wear most of the time, will give us 30% more fog of war. And again, look awesome while we do it. I really like that. However, if we go back to Samurai Clan, this is going to give us a massive increase to health, reduces all damage by a major amount, and taking damage grants 15% resolve. Unfortunately, between the two, I have to go with this, because it's not fun if we don't get to stay alive. Okay, Aleknas is heading out. Aleknas, thank you so much for stopping by. Oh, and hello to Hypnos. Yeah, Hypnos, you are
This will protect you.
rejoining us near the end of our stream. But
Goodbye.
we're not done just yet. We just upgraded our samurai armor. And next up, I think we're going to bounce over to the Trapper, where we have 4 upgrades available. Adriana saying, what are your thoughts on pixel art? Boy, that's a large topic. I am pro pixel art.
They're demons. Oni. And you know
Hold on just 1 second, because we're going to choose. So, oops. I would like to have more kunai. Range capacity upgrades. We could also do flaming arrows, wind chimes, or black powder bombs. I've never even thrown a black powder bomb, and probably won't until we get the firecracker upgrade. I think that I'm going to go with the kunai upgrade. Yeah, because I throw them, even if accidentally, all of the time. So that seems like a good one. Okay, and then from there, the next thing we're going to do is going to be this. So why don't we set a course for it? We can probably fast travel here to the Bamboo Strike. So, I feel like there was a sudden turn in the conversation. Brienne says, what are my thoughts on pixel art? To which Mia says that her favorite kind of pie is chocolate cream. Oh, there we go. Brienne said, what is everybody's favorite kind of pie? Banana cream is a real high one. Pumpkin pie is extremely good. Pumpkin pie is... Here's the thing with pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is like, chicken, and pizza. Apparently, these are things that I can eat infinitely. I never get full. You could sit me down with a pumpkin pie, and apparently I would eat until the sheer mass of food caused me to split open like a blueberry. It's not healthy. So I just sort of like have to choose, okay, I'm only going to have one piece of pumpkin pie. This sounds like I just gorged myself on pumpkin pie. What I'm saying is that there appears to be no upwards limit to the amount of pumpkin pie that I'm capable of eating. So I simply choose, I'm going to have the one piece and then not have any more, because like I could just forget. Like here's a legitimate danger. If I ever develop some sort of like cognitive disorder where I don't have short-term memory, I might eat infinite pumpkin pie until I'm just dead of it.
Poor Hatsu. She'll likely starve soon.
Who are you speaking of?
A widow on the outskirts of Tsutsu. She lives alone and has no means of securing food for herself.
I'll check on her.
Key lime pie is very good in moderation. It tends to be very tart, but I mean, that's what I like about it. Switch back to Traveler's Attire. I feel like we didn't spend a lot of time in red, so we're going to stick with that. And yeah, let's go head in this direction. I don't know if when you save, it saves you right on the spot, or maybe at the last fast travel point that you went to. We're going to go ride down the road for a moment. Thank you very much to both Mia and Drienne, who are enjoying my thoughts on Pi. Yeah, and on pixel art, like, pixel art does have this kind of timeless quality, doesn't it? Where, like, we had the Super Nintendo, and then the entire industry moved as one to say, now polygons are the thing. And, like, look at this game. Like, look how good this game looks. I'm not saying it was a mistake. I'm saying that, like, pixel art sort of, like, maxed out there. And, like, not actually, because we've seen a lot of modern games now with a pixel art aesthetic that look better than that. So, but it's like interesting how much more roadway there is in terms of pixel art as an art form, where, like, polygonal games, 3D games continue to get better, they continue to look better, the lighting is better, the physics are better, and these are all great. Pixel art sort of just stopped development, and only in semi-recent years it feels like it started to resume some of that. But, like, you look at the original artwork for something like Final Fantasy VI, or hell, Final Fantasy IV, something like Graveyard Keeper or Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley looks great. So that is the next thing right there. They all look friendly. So I think we're gonna cut it right around here. Save it up real quick. There we go. One save. And every once in a while, I will point out to people, yep, still on hard. No one has ever actually accused me of secretly changing the difficulty level. Like, just my own weird paranoia. Thank you to Mark Quack. Yeah, I'm sure I will. If you know, for anybody who came in late, we had a weird event where, like, some landscapers innocently and inadvertently filled the entire house with gasoline fumes, and it was a rough scene for a while, and I had to, like, get out of the house and go for a long walk. Okay, let's exit to title menu. Yeah, I mean, like, generally speaking, pro pixel art. It's not appropriate for every game, right? But, like, for example, isn't it neat that in the definitive edition of the most recent Dragon Quest game, you can play it in its, like, really genuinely beautiful anime-styled 3D, like, as design mode, or this top-down pixel art version. You can play the whole game that way, which is super neat. Let's see, Adrian's saying that they wish they could enjoy pixel art as much as others do. They realize it's their own hang-up, but for reasons, it's a turn-off from games for me. Interesting. Yeah, for me, pixel art is, like, my arc in the transition from 2D to 3D games was rather different than most people's, because, and I've talked about this in the past, I thought the original PlayStation looked like cooked ass. I thought that pretty much every 3D game on there looked awful. Like, at the time that it came out, I thought that it was visually abhorrent, and I hated the way that the textures would sort of glitch out and judder and sort of, like, flake all over the place, and everybody else was, like, so impressed by it. And it wasn't until the Nintendo 64, where they had that texture mapping nailed down in a way that looked good, that I really enjoyed. So where so many other people were disappointed with the way that, like, Turok was nothing but fog, I was like, but at least the things that you can see look good. So I had sort of, like, a different take on it from there. But yeah, like, pixel art, XCOM, the original XCOM, the original Master of Orion, Civilization and Civilization 2, and even Civilization 3. Like, I really like the way that those games look, and that art style, again, because it sort of, like, tapped out after a certain point. A lot of games that, like, are today decades old still look good to me. Drian saying that they grew up with it, obviously, and maybe that's why. They just have an immediate response of, this is a style when we couldn't do better, we can do so much better now, and why are we doing this? For games like like, take Stardew Valley as an example. Stardew Valley is doable by, as far as I know, a single individual because it's pixel art. Like, this one person, probably with some additional development help from others over the years, but primarily one person was able to craft this world and the characters in the game because it has an art style that is manageable. As soon as you go to a 3D game, then you've got to have animations and you've got to have textures that map onto those polygons properly, and it's a different scope of project. So I think it depends a lot on the project. If they did a Stardew Valley 2, would I like to see it done in the style of Harvest Moon, It's a Wonderful Life, where it was like 3D and rotational? Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see them really mix it up and go in a new direction, only because the Stardew Valley that we have feels so definitive that to give it an altogether different art style and scope feels like a natural progression for the next game. But for what it is, it works really, really well. So that's sort of my thoughts on pixel art in general. Now there are limitations. I look at Axiom Verge, which I've only ever heard good things about it. No, wait. Axiom Verge is the name of the Lindsay Ellis book. No, that's Axiom's End. Crap. Axiom's Verge is the I look like an original Nintendo Metroidvania game, right? Is that the right game? I think it is. I'm very tired. That game, like, that is too retro for me. That's because, like, Nintendo games looked great until the Super Nintendo came out, and then you look back at, like, games that I liked at the time, like Bionic Commando, Double Dragon 2, some of those, and those are a little bit too primitive now for me to go back to. But more modern stylized pixel art, I enjoy a great deal. Adrian's saying that they're consciously aware that it's a deliberate choice quite often of artistic style rather than capability. It's a big disconnect from their cognitive mind, wanting to recognize it as a valid artistic expression, but gut response is being more dismissive than I want. Yeah, no, we're gonna, like, wrap up here in just a second. But I understand where you're coming from. Gosh, I'm trying to think of a good example, but there's definitely artistic styles that immediately rub me the wrong way. I think it would take a little bit more consideration than I have at the moment, but there's certainly examples where, like, I just don't like this. And I recognize that it is well done for what it is, and I recognize that this is communicative of a certain desire and artistic vision, and I still don't like it. And that's fine. So yeah. So anyway, we're going to call it here, and we'll probably pick up with that topic again next time. I want to thank everybody for joining us for episode 5 of Ghost of Tsushima. We still got a lot done, mostly wrapping up some sort of side projects here, but I would hope that by the next episode, as we continue to work our way south across the island, we will pick up again with main story content. That is what I'm working towards. But I do feel like the story of Jin is somebody that is looking to recruit allies to help save his uncle, but who also feels a moral obligation to help the people on the island of Tsushima, and as a result, he's going to do things like disrupt bandit camps or Mongolian camps and help out people in distress as he comes across them. So it's reasonable that as he hears rumors of people in distress, he's going to want to prioritize that over his own personal mission. It is his whole code of ethics. So I do feel like we are playing this in line with what the story has taught us about the characters. So let's go find somebody fun to raid. I'll be back in just a moment so we can find out who that is. And until next time, thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great night.